What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we are talking about gold making in a very different way. We're talking about investments, and we're talking about the general mindset you want to have when it comes to investing yourself and watching content on the YouTube talking about investments. A lot of my gold comes from making investments, both short-term, long-term, and doing semi-flips. Basically weekly flips, which I personally consider short-term investments where you invest and you sell things a week after. And yeah, I just want to bring you guys into my mind space when it comes to investing, talk about some results, some failures, successes, and also talk about the investments I've made in the War Within so far and how they are doing. For the purpose of that, we are going to be using a couple of my videos here to reference this, and we're going to use Undermine Exchange to look at some prices over time. So first of all, we're going to take a look at this video right here, where I made a video about, for example, profane tinderboxes and Nully Lotus, among other items as well, but mainly let's just focus on those for now, and talk about, for example, profane tinderbox was the big item in that video. And when I make a video on investments, or any type of gold making video at all, there's always 1, 2, or 3 comments, on this one even more than that, saying that when that video comes out, it's already too late. You can't invest at that point and make gold. It is absolutely impossible. So I just want to take a look at that, because this video, as you can see here in the bottom, was made public 7 days ago. Now, my investment videos goes in early access to people that have my gold making guide first, which you can check out through a link down below, by the way. Now, the thing about investments is that I can be mistaken. I am literally always sharing the items that I'm investing into and why I'm investing into them. And that's all I'm doing. We're speculating on the market movement for the future and talking about that, and I invest myself as well at the same time. And the thing is, when I make these videos, I don't invest several weeks ahead. When I think about investments, I want to get the information out there as soon as possible. If I cared about my own gold making, I would shut up, not talk about it, and upload this video, for example, 1 day before the raid came out. Instead, I uploaded the video 6 days before the raid came out, giving people 6 days of my information and my thought process on the gold making. Either way, let's take a look at some items. So 7 days ago, profane tinderboxes. We are now on Friday the 13th in Europe, versus 7 days ago would be Friday the 16th, or not the 16th, Friday the 6th. And we can see roughly how the price has moved since then. We can even just use here. So here it was selling for 6,000 gold at this point. Now going back even 4 more days, it was selling for between 5k and 6k. And this is basically where I bought in, September 2nd. Between September 1st and September 2nd, I bought them for about 4,000 gold each. So it has to be in this specific jump, unless somebody puts some on the auction house for a cheap price in this space as well. I bought mine for 4,000 gold. Now, when I made the video public, it went up to 5k and then 6k gold. Now, at the moment, when I am starting to sell mine, they are selling for about 7,900. Yesterday, they were over 8,000 gold each. And we can take a look at the heat map here to look at their price and look at how much they have been selling for. So over here, we have 11k, 10k, 10k, 9.9, 10k, 10k, 9.9, a bunch of numbers between like in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th are over 10k. For the majority of the day, the price is over 10k. Over here as well, it even went up to 17,000 gold and 18,000. Actually, that's the heat map. But then over here, we have 7k, 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 8k, 8k, and currently it's 8.7. At the moment, on Friday 13th, it went up to 9,000 gold, 8.7, 8.7, and right now it's 8.1, so somebody undercut by 600 gold, but for the most part the prices today has been 8,000 gold plus. Going back to Friday the 6th, the price was between 6,000 and 7,000 gold. That is a profit margin of between 10, 15 and 20%, depending on when you bought the item. And when that video went public, the price was 5,000 gold. It is now 8,000 plus. That is a profit margin of about 60% since the video went public. Even if you think it's too late, it went from 5,000 gold to 8.7 or 8.1. Let's just use the lower number here. Let's just say 8. It is still a profit margin of over 50% on that item specifically. Now, I want to take a look at something else, and that is the Null Lotus, because the Null Lotus has been going down in price, and I want to talk about this very quickly, because when we make investments, you need to know why you buy the item. Never listen to anyone, including myself, on why, like what to buy, unless you understand what you're buying it for. So, let's talk about Null Lotus, and let's take a look at how many are on the auction house right now for the price to come back to a decent point. So we can take a look at this. We can move this slightly more to the left. And over here on the auction house, you can see there's not really that many left until the price goes back to about 220 gold each. So at the moment, when I made the video, these were 240 gold. They have now gone down to 220 gold, and we are once again taking a look at the heat map here. And you can pretty obviously see roughly when this video became public, went from 194 gold to 533. Somebody saw the video, did a really quick flip, and flipped on you. If you get flipped on, never buy something when it gets flipped. I'm not just talking about my perspective here. If anyone else made a video, Bellular, and any big YouTuber made a video telling you to buy something, of course, there's going to be gold makers in the market flipping that item on you. That was not me. I still have all of my lotuses. If I go to my war bank right now, I'm sitting on pretty much all of my lotuses that I've been buying. So I'm not the one flipping, I am holding, I'm the one buying these. I've been buying these, and if we go to the last tab, we have, how many do we have? 4,300 of them. Which is not that many, by the way, but it's what I've been buying. And as you can see, we haven't sold a single one of them, because TSM would have actually encountered that. So Null Lotus, I haven't sold a single one. But when somebody who has millions of gold, there's people out there with hundreds of millions, and they see a video like that, gain traction, of course they're going to try to flip on you. Because some people are going to blindly follow the advice and not think about why you're buying it, or even look at the price. So whenever you're buying something, always look at how the price has moved. If the price went from 194 gold to 533 and then 590, and you buy it at that price, I'm sorry, you're dumb. Basically, whenever somebody tells you to buy something, or that they are buying something and wants to share that, always look at the average price, and I usually tell the prices that I buy something at as well in my videos, so you know exactly what I bought them for, and then if the price doubles, you probably shouldn't buy it for a while, or wait until the prices calm down, or go to a heat map like this on undermine.exchange and look at what the historical prices actually are, and look at the volume on the auction house as well. Now, what happened to Null Lotus to where there's losing gold? Well, first of all, look at the volume. The volumes being sold. So people have been hoarding a bunch of these for a while at the lower prices, and they are currently dumping it into the market. Now, due to these volumes, I also think that maybe there has been a buff to the drop rates of Null Lotus, like a stealth buff, but the thing is, I'm not doing enough herbalism to actually confirm or deny that, but due to these volumes, I mean, you can see the volume went from 24,000 and between 10 and 20,000 to 100,000 consistently. Ever since the 11th, it's been 100,000. Now, that could once again be people hoarding and then offloading, so right now people are just dumping thousands upon thousands of Null Lotus because content just came out. But I'm just gonna say, Null Lotus is an investment you make for flasks. At the moment, what do people flask for? A lot of people don't flask for normal raids. Almost nobody flasks for regular Mythic Dungeons, and also, Mythic Dungeons you do once per day anyway, and you don't flask for it, or most people don't. Normal raids you don't flask for, and only a certain amount of people are doing heroic raids right now. Next week, on the other hand, Mythic Plus comes into play, so instead of using one flask per week for your raids only, you will be using several flasks every single week. Mythic Plus, you'll be flasking for pretty much all of the Mythic Pluses. So next week, the demand for these Lotuses will absolutely skyrocket, and this week the demand didn't really meet the supply. The stockpile supply has been driving these prices very far down, because people love undercutting. They really do. You can see it right here on the prices. They've gone from 214 gold down to 188, because people undercut by like 10 gold every single time, which is dumb, by the way. But the TLDR is that people have been stockpiling a lot of them, supply at the moment is massively overwhelming the demand for it. Meanwhile, next week and the weeks to follow, demand will go up, and unless Blizzard buffs the drop rate, then we will definitely see a price increase. I can't see anything else happening here, but people have been hoarding this. So if you have bought Null Lotus, just remember what you bought it for. It's Mythic raids and Mythic Plus dungeons, not regular Mythic content or normal raids. A lot of people simply don't flask for that, especially Mythic dungeons and normal raids. Heroic raids though, people do flask for, but in my experience, even if I flask in a Mythic 0 dungeon, nobody else does. And it's not even expected of you to do so. But when you start doing Mythic Plus dungeons on a higher level, you are expected to flask, which is when demand kicks in. So yeah, I've received a couple of messages about Null Lotus after making the video, which was highlighted earlier here in the Buy the Items Now, where I talked about that as an investment for the future. And once again, what I have to say here is that if you don't know what you're buying an item for, don't buy it. Do a little bit of personal research here before putting all of the blame onto me, for example. Do a little bit of personal research before buying an item. I tell you what I'm personally investing into and what prices I invest into them at. And then it's up to you to either follow or do something else. But do some research before spending your gold, if you care about the gold. If you don't care about the gold, then do whatever. Because once again, if you look at the price maps here, after this video came out, the price absolutely jumped and stayed quite high for quite a while. So a lot of people, for example, did a classic pump and dump here, where my video went out, they bought out the entire market, they sold them for triple the price, and made a bunch of gold. Definitely some gold makers out there that do that, where they just buy out the entire market when the hype is there, and they sell it to you for an inflated price. So always double check the prices, and use a heat map like this to find out what the price was yesterday compared to what the price is right now, before blindly buying something. And the same thing goes for checking out the heat map for the supply as well, to see if the supply has increased, and then think about why. In this case, a lot of people were stockpiling Null Lotuses that they got for super cheap really early. Now, I didn't really buy that many when they were super cheap, but I still bought them for about 200 gold, and some people bought them for 20 gold, right? So a lot of people stockpiled them very early for very cheap, and they are now offloading a lot of them for profit. Either way, most of these items that I talked about in that video was related to raids coming out and Mythic Plus dungeons coming out, not just Mythic Zeros, by the way. I specifically mentioned Mythic Plus, because that's the repeatable content that people will be doing not just once per day, like they will be repeating Mythic Pluses 24/7, and Mythic raids as well is way more important than heroic raids or normal raids when it comes to actually using consumables. So wait until next week and see how the price moves then, and even then it's all about how many people bought the items and what is the stockpile supply looking like, because if people have stockpiled millions of Null Lotuses, then the price is barely even gonna move, could even go down further. But the TLDR is that demand will go up over time, and I wanted to make this video to kind of clear the air on investments and give some general advice that I think is super useful if you're ever gonna follow any investments anywhere, including my own in the video game, where I talk about how I spend my gold. Never blindly follow what I do. Understand why I'm doing it, and then make a personal decision based on that understanding. Either way, that's the video. Just wanted to have like a market analysis, kind of, and talk about investments in general. If you want to talk more about gold making, I'm live pretty much every single day on Twitch, doing both regular content, delve content, dungeons, and also gold making. The link to my Twitch is down below. Now, I also have a gold making guide for the War Within, if you want to have more of a guide on gold making, where I talk about, for example, making gold by crafting, using professions, how to spend your knowledge points, what to spend your concentration on, and exactly what to craft to make gold. In addition to that, we have solo gold farms, group gold farms, and an awesome gold making community that you get access to when you buy the guide, where with like a bunch of helpful people, myself included, I hope. Like, I hope I'm pretty helpful every now and then, but a bunch of other people as well that make millions of gold, and they are all super helpful. I think it's a really good community to be a part of if you're interested in making gold in the War Within. Either way, that's the video for now, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and let me know how your gold making journey has gone so far. How much gold have you made so far in the War Within? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon. Bye bye now.